In this conversation, me and Josh spoke about how to structure your day with your health goals in mind and running a business. We spoke about the importance of gut health, having a clear plan, supplementation. So I'm sure there's a few golden nuggets of information you can take away from this. Enjoy. Before you started our program, Josh, what
Mm.
were you hoping to achieve?
I was trying to get back to not even just high performance, but performance. I was in a stage where I was like literally grinding meaning like my health and my clarity and all of that was so low that it was only my will that was bringing me through. My actual energy, health was not boosting my work. It was holding me back. And it was actually just the fact that I have strong will inside to like drag myself out of bed or push myself through work. But that was, and I was like, trying to figure out is there not a better way to do this where like my natural energy and my natural body like pushes me to want to work great because I have so much energy naturally.
And what is it you were doing as well, like trying to do with business, with this newfound energy, these problems you were having? Like, what was it? There's obviously a reason that you want to have more energy and focus and whatnot. Like,
Yeah.
what were you looking to hopefully have a nice turnover in business as a result?
Yeah, I think I was hoping what I really wanted to do is I wanted to break through to that like 10 to 20K a month consistently, right? But that takes like a lot of energy, right? And it wasn't even fun, and when you want to hit those goals as well, you want to actually like feel good about it. So I really wanted to get to the point where I was at 10 to 20K a month, but I felt good about it as well. Like I was enjoying what I was doing. It didn't feel like I was a slave to work. And honestly, where I was with just willing through it, that wasn't enough because will is only so much. So if I was not feeling great, feeling tired, I wouldn't be able to do my best work. And I would just get stumped down by competition who was doing better and working faster.
Yeah, and I remember a few times in when you were in Milan, there's a few times where you'd go to bed late or you'd be eating out a little bit. So we
Yeah.
explain to us a little bit how we navigated those problems you were facing as well, because as an
Yeah,
entrepreneur,
so like
you're on the
my,
go.
my whole schedule and everything, that was the issue was like, I'd come from Ireland, I was getting into this world and I'd never like I was working in the American time zone and I just got thrown into this world and I didn't know how to make it work performance wise. Like before this, I wasn't a non-performance person. Like I was an athlete. I used to play soccer as well. So I was good with understanding food, kind of like being healthy, but I couldn't figure it out how to do it. And I left while doing work as well. So as you said, I would like be going to sleep at like 2 a.m. and then waking up at like 11 groggy and starting work and then just eating whatever I could eat. If it was just like some food there, we'd go and eat it and then working during the day and not getting the right meals and then being hungry at night and then just eating whatever I had to eat at that point. And it's just that cycle,
Yeah.
So it was just like a cycle, and it was so hard to break that cycle.
Yeah, and dude, you're not alone. I've felt for this as well. I mean, one of the most common fallacies is, oh, I'll just stay up to 2, 3 a.m. and bust out this new sales funnel or whatever it is these clients need.
Yeah.
And that works in the short run. And I've done this myself. And you may get away with it once or twice. I'm actually, if, every now and again, I understand.
Mm.
But if you continually do that, you will notice a recurring pattern the next day. Like you're more irritable.
Yeah.
Everything feels less possible on a bad night's sleep. Like you're just like, oh, like negative thoughts tend to seep in, which is completely not
Yes.
what you want as an entrepreneur, especially coming up. Um, so you did very well in terms of, being open-minded and getting the consistent sleep scores. What would you say were the main problems we helped you with on our Goldilocks program when it comes to your overall health?
I would say that one of the biggest things I learned was I think it was the circadian rhythm, right? Because what we're talking about there is like my life rhythm. My life rhythm was wrong. Like because I was working so late, couldn't wake up early because I was so tired. And then it took me so long to get energy during the day. That's why I only did my best work at like 2 or 3.
Like a
So
nightmare.
which I had to switch that whole circadian rhythm, understand waking up, going outside, getting sunlight, walking, like those simple things. I didn't even understand that that's like what wakes my body up. Like no wonder I was waking up and I was just so groggy. So getting up, getting sunlight into myself, going outside for a short walk when I'm eating, going for a walk afterwards as well. Like no wonder when I was eating, I was feeling so sluggish afterwards. So that first shift, I think, was the most fundamental part of it. And I'd say the second and most biggest part was definitely the diet, right?
Right.
Because I think I realized that I learned that the gut was a second brain. I don't think before I even knew what my gut was, other than people saying follow your gut feeling. I had no clue
Yeah.
what my gut was, but I started to understand how not taking care of your gut led to like brain fog and this sort of like dreariness that I was feeling. So the diet side of things was great because I started to have The meals in the morning, I knew that I was going to have my Greek yogurt and my nuts, and then I knew what I was having for a snack later on, and I knew what I needed to have for lunch and dinner. And it wasn't strict. It wasn't like crazy strict. Oh, you can't eat certain thing, or it's like we're cutting out all foods. It was actually really like open, and it was something that was like, oh, like I would have eaten this anyways had I just known that this is what I should eat, because like it was good and it's easy to make and it's easy to find. So I'd say circadian rhythm and the diet was the two biggest things for me.
I would say diet, honestly, man, is most people's ROI. Even if whether
Oh
you're an
yes.
entrepreneur or not, like in terms of most people who even want to come to us to lose fat, they get obsessed with the training and the cardio and whatever else superfluous details.
Mm,
But then they completely leave out the fact that they're snacking on like um, almond nuts, which the difference between 5 almond nuts and 7 almond nuts is like 100 calories, right? So for most people, when it comes to any kind of change, whether that's biological, whether that's cognitively, or even just physical, like fat loss,
mm.
the diet, man, is huge because your food affects your gut affects how you think,
Yes.
or your thoughts, right? Your
It's
thoughts
like
affect your
it's
food.
like a cycle. Yeah, because then you can't even make good decisions to go and want to exercise properly if
Yeah,
you're eating bad because you're foggy in your mind. It's like, and yeah, that was, I think it is, that was 100% the biggest ROI was the diet. Because even still to till this day now I'm like really, I know like what the outcome's gonna be if I eat a certain way. It's not that it's more like, so it takes a while first of all when you get those new diets to be consistent with it. And when you be consistent with it and then you get to a point, let's say a couple of weeks in, you see that new version of how much energy you have and how much more like free and clarity of mind that you have. It's not even about like, okay, curbing the feeling for wanting sugar and stuff. You don't even want that stuff because you don't want to lose that feeling that you have,
mhm.
right? It's like you're when you get to this level, it's so hard to not want to be like, oh, I'm gonna go eat this crap and this crap and this crap. So I'm like, I'm gonna start to feel sluggish. Like I love how I feel. I love
Yeah.
waking up and feeling energetic and free. I don't even want to eat that stuff anymore. And that's when it becomes easy then to say no to things.
That newfound energy and sense of clarity with your thought, what has that done for your personal life and your business?
What has it done? Honestly, I think the biggest thing it relieves it's relieved stress. Like stress is such a it's such a word that we say for everything, and I still think it's not the perfect word to. But like with stress, it's just that constant like feeling like you're behind, feeling a bit irritable, as you said,
Yeah.
feeling, and that affects how you work, how you interact with people, how you even feel about your work. Like, even if you're, no matter if you have great energy, your business could be going through a bad period for 3 months. Bad period meaning it's not the greatest, but you can still feel great
Yeah.
because you and your business is separate. But see, if you're not feeling good energy wise, when your business is doing great, yeah, maybe it helps you feel a little bit better. But when it's down and you're also down, then it's like the whole world's crashing. So like it helps you be more stable and consistent. Like if things aren't not going okay, well, I still feel energetic, great, happy. My emotions are great. I can stick through it. I'm more resilient. Um, I'm more on the brighter side of things, which inevitably means that I can actually solve things faster and get through these ruts quicker because I'm not, in the reality of them and just flowing with them. I'm actually like in a great position myself, and that will reflect in my business. So if it goes down, my energy's still high, it'll slowly start to match me as well.
Amazing. And summing up to, man, so we started a 90-day stints, and before you came to us, kind of all over the place with structure, eating out of a convenience, just what's in front of you, skipping meals because you're just so concerned with business, whatever,
Yeah.
sales calls, whatever, what needs to be done. Um, Kind of hectic schedule routine. And you had the desire and the discipline when you came to me. Like I remember you saying, like, I want to do the best on this program. Like, just give me whatever tick box to tick, and I'll tick it, right?
Mm.
And going from that to where you are now, what would you say has been the most beneficial for you in terms of, okay, you were kind of all over the place with your routine. I feel like now, especially with the nutrition aspect, it's also like a peace of mind that you're doing the right things, because we often have this hazy, nebulous term of optimized health or peak performance. But what does
Yeah.
that mean, right? And now for you, like, what would you say has really helped you from this program in terms of the structure. We often find clients say the structure, the peace of mind that they're eating the right foods, that they can go and eat out and not be miserable, have to stick to ketogenic diet or something.
Yeah.
So what would you say, fundamentally, if you can name 2 to 3 things that really stood out for you on the program that you think was missing before the 90 days?
One, I would say I'm equipped all round. So equipped meaning it wasn't just, hey Josh, do this and do that. It was we did, obviously those sessions as well, those classes, those trainings, the documents you sent. It was like, here's why this is important. Here's what's actually the science behind it. And I said at the very start that I like that type of stuff because then it becomes not just I worked with you for 90 days and yes, I was good because I just followed what you said, but it's no, I was equipped with actual knowledge as a foundation that now I can take for life, right? And I can build on top of that. So even till this day, I'll still be saying things like, oh yeah, this is like, because when I had this coach, when I was working with Alex, I learned this is how I learned this. I still to this day, for example, if I'm flying, going away, the flying protocol. Like I know exactly that I need to make sure I have all my hydration. I know about what vitamins I need to be on top of. I know that when I get on the plane, I have my eye mask. I still have it so I can get good sleep on that plane. So I know these little foundational things with when I'm in the evenings when I'm working now, how can I get to sleep better? Like no phone, right? No phone in front of me, blue light glasses on, red light is on. This is my little red light thing. So this will be on if it was late. Red lights on so that when I finish, I can go to sleep. And if I'm feeling like, oh, I need to go to sleep, I'm feeling still a little bit, active in the brain, go have a hot shower because a hot shower relaxes the body. That's things I learned from you. So I still know all these things. It's like, I just know these little tricks and tips because life is fluid, right? It's
Yeah,
not, you can have structure, but life moves, right? So you need to know a variation of little things to know, okay, what would you do in this moment if you're feeling a little bit like this? What
yeah,
do you think you need to do at this moment? What supplement could be important this time? What type of food might be good for you in this feeling, right? Those sort of things have been the really important thing for me. And that's why I feel confident.
amazing. I always refer to that, what you're saying there, like tools in the toolbox, and every
Yes.
tool at some point is relevant, but you
Yes.
have to think, oh, here's a template, and I'm just going to stick to this, and it's going to be structured because life happens. When you're
Yes.
working with us, like changing gyms, trying to get a blood test,
Yeah.
partner comes around, a client meeting, and that's all well and good having that structure in place. But when life hits you like that, and you don't know how to react and have those relevant tools at the time, then you're just going to regress back to your old behaviors. So
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm really glad you actually listened and understood as well what we were teaching you. Because if you understand the why behind something, you're much more motivated to actually implement it. Like
Yeah.
you go on YouTube or Instagram now, and you'll find a plethora of people talking about health and oh, just do these check boxes. But unless you really deeply understand the why and then begin to shift your belief system as to holy shit, this is actually really fucking important,
Yes.
then you're not really going to stick to it long term. Whereas
Oh, yeah.
when we
And that
talk
and
about
that's
the gut health, it's like, hang on a minute. Okay, this food tastes good, and you can have it, but if you're doing it too much all the time, it's much more motivating to be like, oh, my little guys in my gut probably aren't gonna like this. I'm probably gonna feel a bit negative the next few weeks, or if I keep
yes,
keep
and you know why it's going on. I think that's why, like for me, during the programs you said, like it was still difficult for me to try and do things because I was more learning. I had to learn these new things, right? So it wasn't just I was coming in for like a 30-day sprint of doing and change. It was really learning focused, right? So that takes a while. I'm coming from somewhere 3 months before where I hadn't knew all of this. I had to learn these new things. But that's why I think even like it's so cool. My best versions was actually post those days because those 90 days I learned a lot. I learned the different things. I got it. It's like training, right? Practice. Talk about preseason. You do 3 months of preseason to prepare for the season. So it's like, yes, you train hard during preseason. You do train really hard and super serious, but your best performance isn't in preseason because it's like in those 3 months, you're working super hard. You're equipping yourself. You're testing new things, training that left foot, training the right foot. So, okay, Josh, you got to get back into this. This is why you got to eat this. Okay, I messed up today. This is why you got to do that. I'm learning. I'm building those new like neural connections in my brain, and then now I'm equipped after that, and now I feel comfortable. Now it's like, okay, now I'm actually living it, and it's like part of me, and like that's the cool part of the program was like my best version was honestly like past it because now I knew everything and I could apply it.
those tools that we've given you now have become greatly useful. What would you say to someone who's on the fence of doing a program like this or doing this program?
I would say 100% it's going to be the best ROI you have in yourself. I think if you're doing anything, whether you're in business, whether you're in school, work, getting your diet and your mind right is a long-term ROI because you don't forget, it doesn't change, right? The way my gut health is now, or the things that make my gut bad is not going to change in 50 years. But that sort of marketing funnel or marketing technique that you want to learn right now could change in 6 months, right? So get the fundamentals. What's the thing that's going to equip you for the longest time in life? Knowledge in your brain, food. So no matter what I do, no matter where I go, I'll always have this, right? It's, as I said, the foundation of my house. So a lot of you guys are trying to build a house and you've got no foundation, right? And no wonder you get to a point it crashes or a flood comes and you could look great for a little bit and then something happens and boom, it's knocked over. So you need to invest in your foundations first. I honestly wish always say to myself, had I done it earlier, if I had started earlier in the year, I would have done 10 times better if I just invested in my foundation of diet, health. But I think sometimes, obviously, you have to learn going through that. Okay, yeah, it doesn't work when you try to do it by yourself. It's hard. Now that I've done it, I've seen the post, I can never go back. So I would say to anybody, and especially with Alex, as I said, he's very foundational knowledge focused, right? It's not just do this. It's like, here's why you do this, right? So it's not going to be something that you'll do now and you'll think, oh, what about in 6 months' time or 12 months' time? No, if you commit yourself, you'll still know everything in 12 months' time or 5 years' time, whether you still know Alex or not, which is the cool part. It's like he lives in your head forever.
I'm like Jarvis, the AI, and Tony Stark.
He
Well,
implants himself in your brain and he
do not
never
eat
goes.
this, Josh. No. Nutritional value
Remember
is
Alex
like
said,
7%.
yes, exactly.
No. But knowing what you know now, and I'm sure a lot of people are apprehensive, I think in my personal experience, clients come to me having been burnt in the past from other similar programs, which is a shame.
Mm.
Would you be fair to say that this program's been worth your investment and it's hopefully separate from the overrated, over-promise, under-deliver programs?
This is like the opposite of my experience with most of the things. I said it to Alex before that like I would have paid him 10 times what I did pay him, right? I'm not gonna say it. I don't know what the price is when you're watching this, whatever, but I would have paid him like honestly, had he had said that number, I would have been open to releasing that sort of thing because I got way more, like too much more than I'd actually expected. And it flipped my brain in terms of like, okay, people charging X but undervaluing himself. I love that about Alex because that shows that he cares more about what he's actually doing rather than the outcome, which is money. That was the big thing for me. So if I can see somebody over delivering and I think underpricing themselves, then that means they care more than they care about the money, which is the best thing you want when you're working with a coach. You want them to be passionate about what they do. Yes, they have a skill, and that's why people pay them for them, but that's a byproduct of them loving what they do. So you got to watch out whether it's they have the love for what they get from it or for what they actually do. And I'd say Alex is about what he actually does, and that's why he deserves your trust and your investment to him.
Too kind, man. My ego is just huge right now. So thank you.
No, I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
No, I appreciate it, Josh. Look, man, it's been awesome catching back up with you. Where can people find more of your stuff if they want to learn more about what you do in your business and where you're going to be hanging around?
Yeah, they can find me on Josh Talks Biz on Twitter. That's my main platform, or Instagram as well. And also I'll be doing a few YouTubes as well. Going to be starting to release a bit of vlogs and stuff. So those
Amazing.
three platforms, Josh Talks Biz.
And what is it you do in a nutshell as well for the people who are interested?
Yeah, so what I do is I do high ticket sales. So I train salespeople and place them for companies who are selling different products, marketing, information, coaching, and it's usually something that's in the high ticket space. So we work with different companies across the world, and then I'm also building a software company which is more in the payments industry. So that's a really cool project that I'm working on. So yeah, that's what I do.
There we go. Guys, I will leave a link in the description for you, for those who want to check out Josh's channel and all that he does. Josh, it's been awesome. You're an amazing client. Been a great chat, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alex. Thank you.